And welcome back to the Gadget Spot. It's been 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
James is still here.
Yeah.
I don't know what we did right.
I don't know. He keeps coming back.
Yeah.
I like that.
I am here on the podcast.
Not even
nice.
Don't press your luck.
Where's James?
Not even his hiatus could improve his accents.
I think that's what he spent the whole time doing too.
Phil.
And it didn't
I
Fake.
practiced
You
it.
guys, I'm going to leave. I'm going to really work on my accents and come back.
I practiced it in the shower.
No.
I cannot do. Dude, you want to hear the best celebrity impression I can do?
No.
Oh.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So these guys right over that's
That is
all
a
I got.
terrible Ben Affleck impression.
What? That
That wasn't Ben. It was Casey Affleck.
Oh, sorry. It was okay for Casey Affleck.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, that was like that. Not Shatner. It's that other guy that's old.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
I knew it, but I didn't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing that I knew that because you did it. So you did it very good.
You're already laying into me, Owen.
I said
already.
I
It
said
started like 2 minutes ago, and I let you fly a robot like 2 minutes ago.
it was. That's considered a robot.
I would consider it a robot.
Why?
No, it's not a robot.
It's
It didn't-
semi-autonomous.
and it said it did not say hello.
Well, there was features that I didn't actually get to show you that I'm kind of bummed about that I didn't get to show
What did
you.
it say hello?
We'll talk about it later on in the show.
All right, so let's introduce ourselves. This is the Gadget Spot where we talk about games, tech, and gadgets. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And these are the panelists. Owen.
Hey, my name's Owen. Follow me on Twitter @TechNoan.
You haven't tweeted in a long
No.
time.
Yeah, follow that.
I have so much going on right now that I don't even play phone games on the toilet anymore. That's how busy I am.
Wow.
I just go in there to go to the bathroom and then come out.
Oh, I was going to
That's
say.
it.
You go into the bathroom with an objective?
That's it. I go in, I do my business, and I leave. That's how busy I am.
I thought maybe you went into the bathroom with a productive objective other than
Nope.
going to the bathroom.
No.
Other than 3D printing.
Nope.
Yes.
I go in there and I do my business and I leave. And that's not how it's supposed to be, people.
Do you fart out the poop or do you poop out the fart?
I don't have an answer to that question.
Fair enough.
All right,
All right,
so
that's
no
it.
games.
Can you actually,
No
can you actually
games.
make things with your 3D printer?
Well, I can make cylindrical things.
I make the same thing
I make
every
snakes, sometimes worms,
See, he's talking about his biological 3D printer.
sometimes shotgun murals, depending on what I had to eat the
Like
day before.
Chili?
Indian food.
Yeah. Sometimes it just goes blah.
Sushi, real sushi
This is
from
the,
Japan.
by far the grossest podcast we've ever
Anyway.
had.
Jarron, introduce yourself.
How do I follow up that?
Not gracefully.
All right, I'm Jarron. You can find me on Twitter @Jarron. Like Owen, I have not tweeted in a while. I reply a lot, so if someone replies to me, I'll reply back. Doesn't mean I will though, but I probably will. I've been playing some games.
What's your Twitter handle and what's Owen's Twitter handle? Because we keep talking about Twitter, but we never mentioned
Owen
those.
said his.
Yeah, he said his.
Then I wasn't listening.
and I'm
Correct.
at Jarron, Jarron. So
he means at Jarron.
I've been seriously considering my gaming situation over the last 2 weeks, and I decided.
You're putting a lot of thought into this, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I decided I'm okay with never beating games again. You know, I'm never going to have that time back.
Just tasting them?
Yeah, I like just biting into the apple and then throwing it away.
Just the tip.
Like a
Yeah.
wine
He
snob.
wants 2 bites, and
Yep.
then he'll throw the rest away.
I'll swish the wine around in my mouth, spit it out.
How are you okay with that? I have a hard time
I have to be.
believing.
He has no choice.
I have to.
So
be.
at this
At this point,
yeah.
your ideology is Stockholm syndrome.
I think I have to choose one game a year that I will beat, and then the rest, you know, I just dip in, play a little bit. You know, it's kind of like how I played video games as a child. We had like 30 Genesis games.
well, that's because when we were little, the games were too hard to beat.
Yeah, this is true. Now the problem is they're just too long to beat.
And you rented them, right? You
Another
you had-
factor.
You had
Yep.
to
If you-
take them back.
If you rented it, you usually didn't beat it.
And so as a kid, I'd play, you know, like 10 different games and never beat them and just playing when I wanted to. That's how I am now. I played some Doom. I even played Horizon Zero Dawn. I finally found out what Zero Dawn means in Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay, you got to finish that game.
That's the game I decided to finish
Because
no matter what.
it's got a really cool
Yeah.
everything as it goes on.
Played some Doom on the Switch, Doom on the PC. That Doom is so good. It's just so fun.
I can't wait for the next one.
I got the double shot in my super shotgun. Boom, boom. Oh, it's so cool.
How does it go?
boom, boom.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, and I started playing a brand new game. My friend Bob recommended it to me, Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah, 2D platformer.
How do you feel about that game? How many hours are you into it so far?
Jarron?
Less than one.
I was
What do
going
you
to say hours.
Oh. How many minutes are you into it? No. How do you feel
really
about it?
cool. I like it a lot. It was on sale on Switch. I'm not sure if it is still. It was like $9.
Yeah, it's like $9.
It's a solid Metroidvania type game. It's not my favorite Metroidvania game. I think that honor goes to Ori and the Blind Forest. I just love that game. But it's a lot of fun. It's a bit harder than other Metroidvania games.
I hear the bosses are pretty hard in that game.
Yeah. But the graphics are really good, and it is fun gameplay.
The cool thing about the graphics in a game like that, if you ask me, is that it's all dependent on the art style. The graphics are cool in that because the art direction's awesome.
It's very much in the same, because I played it as well. It's very much in the same vein as like Cuphead. Like I played that game because of the art style.
Yeah. I mean, the art style's not similar.
No, not even a little bit.
But
in
it's
as
so
much
cool
as,
that it stands out.
Yeah.
I could not get into that game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just not my kind of game. But Hollow Knight was pretty okay. I just had a hard time. It's one of those games that thrusts you into it. That I have.
Cuphead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Cuphead only has like jump and shoot, basically. Yeah. But like, and I guess this is kind of the same. But meh, I thought it was. So what would you give it so far?
Hollow Knight?
What would you give it in your less than 1 hour playtime?
Yep.
It hasn't drawn me in as well as like the new Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap or Ori and the Blind Forest. I would give those like a 9 or a 10. This I'd maybe give 7.5.
Do you
so
play
far,
it handheld or TV?
Handheld for sure. If I play it more, it may get better. But in the first hour, that's what I'd give it.
Fair enough.
I'm enjoying it though.
We'll call that like the busy dad score.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know?
I like it.
The successful person score.
No.
Oh.
Also, Dishonored
Yeah.
and Tomb Raider 2.
This is maybe the problem. You're playing like 30 games at one time.
That's what he does. He dips in, gets a
Yeah.
taste, and dips out.
Oh yeah, and Destiny 2 on PC. Those graphics are so awesome
And so
on
smooth.
PC. Yeah,
So smooth.
60 frames per second. It's optimized so well for PC.
What about the new Halo Master Chief? Did you try that out?
Oh yeah, I did that too. I played Halo 3 in the new Master Chief
It
Collection
looks
update.
awesome.
It's so sharp.
I liked it.
HDR update, 4K update. HDR, colors look the same to me, honestly.
Well, it's probably just less banding
Yeah,
near the edge of
that's
the
true.
screen.
But it was super sharp, no jaggies. The textures, at least on the ground, were like really high-res textures, it seemed like.
I think I might dip into that one again soon.
Get some ODST action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what they can do for the graphics on that one because the source files for the like textures of people's faces in that originally was so muddy and bad.
They make the vector graphics more vectory.
They were garbage. It looked like impressionist art.
That's how Halo 3 is, I think. The
Same thing.
face textures are just bad
Yeah.
still. Everything else looks good, though.
Nice.
Okay, that's it.
James.
What's up, guys? This is James. You can catch me either here on the Gadget Spot or as of this Wednesday, I am going to record another video for RDPOV, which
Hey, you're
stands for
back.
Red Devil Point of View. Yeah, I was a little bit sweaty before coming over here and flying the drone with you guys because I got off the phone with another YouTuber whose name escapes me, and I'm going to feel really bad about that. But he runs a YouTube channel that specializes in reptiles. And this Wednesday, we're going to shoot a snake video.
Oh, how are you
you
going to
love
do?
those.
I set up a lot of parameters and a couple of safe words, and I'm not super comfortable with it. And honestly, like even thinking about it right now, like my hands are all sweaty.
The parameters James set up are probably like, I'm not going to do that.
Hey,
Sorry.
I have a severed snake's head in my backyard right now. Do you want to look at it?
No, not even a little
Are
bit.
you
I don't
sure?
even- I'm honestly surprised you considered it even. Like,
I don't like it,
is
but
he
it's
gonna
the
pay
only.
you or something?
Here's the thing: is I did not return his phone calls for a couple of weeks, and I forgot that we were supposed to be filming tomorrow. And at this point, like I don't want to say I'm not okay with that because I had 2 weeks to say that.
Okay.
And so this is where we are.
So you get to overcome your fear because of procrastination.
I'm not going anywhere
Thanks,
near those snakes.
procrastination.
What are you going to just film with a zoom lens
Yup.
and a drone?
Yup.
I'm over here. Totally good.
Outside of that, the only game that I've really been playing a lot of lately has been Hearthstone. I, for some reason, have fallen headfirst into that game, even though it's been out for how many years now?
That's because that's how you game.
Yeah, it's
you
seriously,
get
it's
into
how I
something
do
and
it.
you get hardcore into it.
Oh yeah,
Especially if it's a Blizzard game. I've noticed with you,
it's Blizzard games are solid.
they're good games.
You know, the only other game, or I got out of Fortnite. I'm finally out of that trap, that dark hole.
Congratulations.
And we'll talk more.
They just did an upgrade for that, didn't they?
I don't know.
No.
I think they do one every like 40 days or something
really,
like that.
really cool.
No,
James. Check it
you
out.
want to know why? Is because I used to play it on Switch, and now I cannot currently play it on Switch.
Why?
yeah,
Well, we'll have
we're
to talk about why that
We're
is.
going to talk about that in just a little bit. I mean, my friend can't play it on Switch.
Right.
Right. Why?
Any other games
Yeah.
you've been playing?
Outside of that, no. I opened up Heroes of the Storm, the MOBA.
Oh yeah.
And
That's not for me.
I cannot. However, a listener, and we'll talk about this later, but a listener who's a close dear friend of mine has opened up a Discord for the Gadget Spot. We've given us rights to that.
I just joined it.
Wow.
I'm going to try frequenting that every time I play a game.
I just joined the Discord app, like literally just now.
Did you really?
Yeah, I just did it. I used the invite link that you put in the show notes.
If you guys want to be a part of our Discord, check out our Twitter. I'll make sure we tweet that out at some point in time today.
Cool.
And then put it on Facebook and especially our show notes. And check our show notes today because it's going to be full of a lot of links. And we got a host. His name is Tony.
Hey, my name's Tony. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, or every other week, always here on the Gadget Spot, or every week on the Geek Show podcast. Gaming wise, I have been playing. I finally finished Far Cry 5, the main story anyway.
Didn't you just start that like 3 weeks ago?
Was that
Yeah,
the one that was
It
in,
only took about 15 hours to get through the main story.
Is that the one
Really?
that's set in Montana?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to play that
It's
one.
pretty fun.
Ever since I played the Far Cry before that, and that was my first Far Cry I ever played.
4 or Primal?
Oh, no, 4.
4. So let me tell you, I was going to do a review on it. I'll do a really quick review on it right now. Far Cry 5, set in Montana, it is a kind of it's definitely along the same vein as Far Cry 4 and 3.
Pretty
But
much all the Far Cries.
yeah, but long story short is it's not as good as 3, but it is
Is
probably
3 better than 4?
I think 3 is the best one they've ever put out.
What's the basic? Give me like a TLDR of 3.
3 is you're a rich, spoiled kid who crashes his plane with his friends on this island, and it's full of these crazy people that are basically trying to kill you and your friends.
So Dead Island?
Well, no, there's no zombies.
So not Dead Island.
Not Dead Island, just Island.
There's no zombies though.
No zombies.
These crazy
Not-
people.
Yeah, there's some crazy cult people
That aren't
and
dead.
so that are alive. And so Far Cry 5 takes that same kind of formula, except you're not a rich spoiled kid. You're a deputy on in your first like week of the job, and you're going to with a U.S. Marshal and your boss, the sheriff, and everything. You're going to this compound to basically try and bring in the leader of this.
Sorry, are we talking about 3
of
or
this cult.
5 right
This is
now?
5 now.
Okay, cool.
In Montana.
Yeah.
And so the game
Not dead,
starts
no.
with you trying to take him in, and then everything goes crazy, and he captures all your friends, and you have to fight through his main lieutenants and everything. And it's open world, so there's a lot of stuff to do along the way. I probably only did like maybe.
Is it necessary? Does it add that much more to the game?
Some of the side stuff's pretty cool, and you have to do a certain amount of it just to basically build up enough XP to attack the 3 lieutenants underneath the main guy. So I did enough side quests to build up XP in each area to fight the lieutenants.
Would you say that it's like a social commentary before we move on from story on how the U.S. is today?
It is to a point, but it's kind of a weird one, because basically this cult is a doomsday cult, and they're saying that the end is coming, and it's because of corrupt politicians and things like that. Blah blah blah.
So they're not completely wrong.
So possibly not.
Oh, okay.
But the story was pretty solid. Still not as good as Far Cry 3, if you ask me. The characters were fairly interesting. Not as interesting as Far Cry 3. But graphically, it was really pretty. Gameplay-wise, it was really fun. There's a few things they removed that I really liked from Far Cry 3 to try and simplify the gameplay, but I think it simplified it a little bit too much. Shooting mechanics are really good. I would say overall, I'd give Far Cry 5 probably a solid 8.5. Definitely worth a purchase if you can find it at a good discount, like 50% off or so. I'd say it's worth a purchase. So yeah,
So
I
Far
enjoy
Cry 5. It's not Far Cry 3, but it's okay.
Exactly, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good, not great.
I mean, it's better than pretty good.
Is it better than 4?
I didn't play 4, honestly, to
Oh.
tell you the truth, so I don't know if it's better than 4. But yeah, I would say pick it up on sale, or if you have a console and you have a friend that owns the disc, borrow it and play it that way. But I like it. 8.5.
The fact that
8.5.
the fact that it's shorter really appeals to me.
Yeah, and the side quests don't really have a whole lot to do with the story.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fun and kind of add to the lore a little bit, but you don't feel obligated to do all of them by any means.
I think at this point, any game above 40 hours, I'm just not even going to do anymore.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like you're not wrong. On digital trends, it got 6 out of 10. Steam, 6 out of 10. GameSpot, 6 out of 10. For a game that came out just this last March, that isn't...
6 out of 10?
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Oh, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you say the number. I thought you just... it's all right.
GameSpot gave it a 6?
GameSpot gave it a 7.6 out of 10.
Oh, okay, 7.6. That
Yeah.
sounds about right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say like an 8-ish. So yeah, I liked it.
Good,
It's
not
not
great.
it's not run out and buy right now, but if you got some spare time and you want a pretty looking game, it's good. It runs really well on all the consoles and on PC too. So, all right, let's see. That's about. Oh yeah, we were talking about what I was playing. That's what I've been sinking most of my time to. I started Quantum Break. I played about an hour and a half into Quantum Break on
That's
PC.
that one game with
Came
that
out-
one guy that played...
Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap, right?
Incorrect.
No.
No, Iceman from X-Men, right?
Yes, it has the
Oh.
guy that I can't remember his name, and
Something Animorph guy.
it's got the guy that plays Pippin from Lord of the Rings,
Oh, I love him.
Oh.
and it's also got the guy that plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. So it's got a really cool cast, and it's pretty interesting. So I'm excited to keep playing through that. I've got about 2 hours into that over the last 2 weeks, and it's cool.
So there's an app that I want to send you. I don't know if it's
wasn't
out
done.
for Android. I'm going to just stop you right there. So there's an app that you can download, and you just program in what you're doing, and then you hit go. And it's basically like you plant a seed in a forest, right? And then the more you do something, the more a tree grows. What I want you to do is get the app, and every time you play a video game, hit start. And then I want you to see how... I just want to
Oh, that's
see your
interesting.
time monitored
Okay.
per video game.
I don't think I do.
In a 2-week period. I just want to see it in
Yeah,
comparison.
I'll check it out.
Compare and contrast.
That's pretty much. I think those are the 2 games I've been. Oh no, I take it back. I've been putting a fairly decent amount of time as well into Quake Champions.
That's a free game, isn't it?
It went free to play at QuakeCon a couple of weeks ago, and I liked it enough that I bought the Champions pack for like $25 or something like
Is it
that.
just a bunch of skins?
It's all the different characters that you can play as, and it guarantees you all the upcoming champions as well. So you get all the old ones and any new ones that come out along the way.
So what's special about that game?
It's just old school run and gun, jump and rocket jump, and all the old school cool Quake weapons, lightning gun, rail gun.
The same reason why people play Counter-Strike, right? Just for
Yeah,
because it's a solid
but it's got a
old game.
fresh coat of paint on it. It's got a new graphics engine, and it's just a lot of fun.
We used to have so much fun playing Quake 3 Arena on Dreamcast.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
And that's what it-
Dreamcast?
Yeah.
You
And-
came from a Dreamcast family?
They came from the Sega line, man.
Sega
Yep.
Master System family.
They're Sega roots
Yeah.
right there.
Sega. I've had every Sega console except for the Saturn.
What happened to him? Do you still have him?
They're at his dad's house.
Probably.
Pretty rare.
Oh,
that
Somewhere.
that's a
it's
sentence I'll
pretty-
never
it's-
say.
It's pretty rare that you meet somebody that grew up that whole tree where like the tree never forks.
Yeah.
Because it's just they died.
Sega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
But-
I would definitely. I've put almost 20 hours into Quake Champions in the last 3 weeks.
is it good enough
If you're at all interested in fast-paced first-person shooter on the PC, it's free to play. You have nothing to lose. It's a lot of fun.
What'd you think about the Doom multiplayer?
Never played it.
It's not very good.
I tried it. I thought it was pretty good. It
I
seemed
didn't like it.
seemed like old school.
It probably plays very
FPS.
similar to Quake Champions, I bet. So
Would Quake Champions be a game that all 4 of us could get because it's free, and then offer in the Discord thread, and then play with people that listen to Gadget Spot?
is it PC only or is
it's
it on
PC
console?
only.
What kind of game what kind of system do you need to run it? Because
PC.
I don't think you
I
need
don't have any.
anything-
I don't have any
You know,
GPUs.
this would run it.
Oh, good.
Hold
Yeah.
on, let me look online.
Your laptop would run it.
Oh, good.
It says you just need
So-
one graphics card to play
I
it.
don't have any to spare.
Oh, what?
Nope. Sorry.
Zero graphics
It
cards.
doesn't have a score to spare.
I've sent them all to the mines.
Nice Seinfeld reference.
Hey
Jen.
ho.
Thank you.
Hey ho.
That's right.
All right.
Patreon.
So, yes, let's go to the Patreon backers.
Owen, tell us what Patreon is.
It's a digital tip jar.
Good job.
And,
if you guys love us,
Yeah.
donate. And if you love us and don't want to donate, that's cool too. But you can donate at patreon.com/GadgetSpot.
You sounded unsure when you said that.
He was looking at the link.
70% sure.
He's looking it up. At the same
I always
time.
get weirded out if we are the Gadget Spot or just Gadget Spot on our stuff.
I know. We just got to settle this once and for
Well,
all.
the problem was we tried to, and there's certain things that have that already taken, so we
Yeah.
had to settle for the other one.
The other Gadget Spot?
We had to-
Patreon.com/GadgetSpot.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So if you pledge $6 or above, you get your name read out here. And so here we go.
Shout out.
Huge thank you to AJ Jasper and Aaron Young. As always, you guys are wonderful. Aaron Faulkner, Ryan McQueen, From Software is Better Than Naughty Dog, a.k.a. Joe Reedy. Adam Foote, Valentine, Kevin Eccles, Derek Allred, Johnny Rios, Spencer Knowlton, Adam Hecht, Conrad Southworth, Brian Lee, Morty, Austin Beauregard, Roger Allen, David Broshinsky, Michael Beck, Jeffrey Kale, Derek Bauer, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The extra thing
You
that
guys
you're gonna
rock.
the extra thing that you're going to be getting this month from Patreon and from us is I'm throwing together a little video that we filmed right before. Oh wait, no, are we doing that? Yeah, no. Right before we flew a drone. I'm going to have all of the footage that was flown on the drone up online. There's going to be a little snippet in the video that I'm going to put online, but the
Just for general
general, just for the
and then
main
the Patreon
video.
people are going to get like the full Monty.
Yeah, the unedited. Well, I guess it's going to be edited a little bit, but all the footage.
A lot more footage.
Yeah, straight
Cool.
from the drone.
Yep.
Yeah, so awesome. Thank you, Patreon people. You rock. All right, do we have any emails that we want to address real quick?
Yeah.
All right.
So we got some Facebook messages from some great people. You can see I'm stalling here. All right.
Hey.
From Neil on Facebook, he says, "Hey G-Spot, I was just listening to your latest episode when you were talking about baby gadgets, specifically cams, and would suggest looking into the Wyze cam, W-Y-Z-E. I've been interested in these for a while and would love it if you guys could check it out, possibly as a thrifty 50.
Almost did this for our baby.
I told Tony to do this as a thrifty 50 actually, because he was looking for something.
And then we went instead and went and played Halo.
Yeah.
At Dave
Which
and
was
Buster's.
still awesome.
Are we supposed to talk about
Yeah,
this round?
yeah, we are. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
It's super consumer friendly, starting at only $20 a camera and $30 for the new models that has pan and zoom. Anyways, just wanted to point out this cool gadget. Thanks for entertaining while I work. These Wyze cams have been they've interested me for quite a while. They're super cheap, and it's 1080p. And
What's the downside to them? That's what I want to know because I'm literally looking at
You
it.
don't know if they have Chinese spyware on them.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
They could look at your baby or your.
Cool. It's
No,
a generic
no.
looking white baby. Like
he's just tossing out FUD. Anyway, it works with Alexa, works with if this then that. It is a cool little gadget, and
I don't know if I like that new pan and zoom one where it's like a rectangle.
I like it. It's
Really?
It would be perfect for a nursery.
Yeah. So the previous models that we looked at did not have the pan and zoom.
Yeah, this is a brand new
pan,
thing
tilt,
right
zoom.
here.
So you were looking at the older models.
Yeah, so we didn't go with them. And then we ended up going with an Amazon camera that doesn't do that anyway.
And this one's a lot cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Probably by the end of this podcast, I'm going to buy one. So I will review it sometime.
That's why we love you.
All right.
His month for Thrifty 50?
Well, it's the thing is I didn't know that this was a thing, and I was going to buy the Ring or the Nest, kind of get into one of those two ecosystems, but I cannot say no to this price.
Yeah, the price for sure. I think your Thrifty 50 is in October. So
Oh yeah, I am. By the way, just a heads up, I am I'm a month and 2 weeks away from having a kid.
yeah, so it's perfect.
Oh, I can't believe that I am that close to having a kid. That's intense.
Luckily, your body will block out the trauma.
Well, it's like I
And
can
you'll
see a
forget it.
train. I can see a
James-
train coming at me right now.
I have advice for you
You're tied on the tracks.
before the baby comes. Are you listening to me right now?
Yeah.
Live. Live, dang it.
Why do you think
You only
bought-
have a month and a half left.
He did.
Freedom.
Here's what I
He did. He's
Here's
back
what
on
I
the
kind of.
podcast. I mean,
I was
live
kind of
it.
told before. It's like make sure you take in every moment along the way because if you're always looking forward to stuff, then you're going to miss stuff. So when you have the kid, appreciate that moment. Like don't look forward to when they can walk because then you're going to be looking forward to when they go to school and when they get older and they do stuff and you're always going to be looking forward to the future. The problem with right now is I've never experienced having kids. I wish I could hit a save point and then have a kid and then 6 months into having a kid hit that revert from save point and experience life without a kid and then have a kid. If that makes sense.
That's called being a horrible father.
Oh. I don't have any examples.
Yeah, you do. You have a horrible father. You don't even know.
Yeah, I'm going to stick around.
That's what he did, though. He had a save point for when you got born.
Oh my gosh, that is what he did.
He reverted back and changed
It
it.
was like, nope, I'm out.
Redo.
I never thought of it like that.
The last waypoint.
I am just like him.
Oh, James,
You have something in your teeth.
you have become what you. And Jarron abruptly stops laughing. Other side.
Is this what it feels like to be you guys?
I didn't want to
There
tell
you
him
go.
Oh,
because we're on a podcast. It doesn't matter.
it's chocolate. It's eventually going to wear off. I wanted him to feel at least a little bit self-conscious.
Oh, I think it worked.
It-
All right. Okay, cool. So, do we have any other letters?
Oh, yes, we do.
All right.
Aaron Faulkner actually sent us two things.
Well, we got Austin Beauregard on Facebook. If we want to read that off,
I am
before we
on
move.
Facebook. I don't see him.
Down.
Yeah, he's not there.
He posted it also on the Slack.
Anywho, he said, "Say hi to the guys for me and throw a question out there if you can. Ask what they think the next Apple phone will bring, and what they think the next big feature will be for the phones in general."
Bankruptcy.
Excluding batteries. We're going to be talking about this later on in the podcast. That's part of my show notes.
Cool.
So stay
cool.
tuned, and we
Cool.
will tell you.
So Aaron Faulkner sent a picture of a back of the airline seat TV screen thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Because he gets to travel because he's rich.
I actually knew this before he sent it in to me because this happened to me on a flight.
He says airline touchscreens run Linux, in case you ever wondered.
Yep.
And it's a console that's obviously not supposed to be there.
Yep.
It's pretty great. Anyway, he says, hey guys, are any of you excited for Diablo 3 for the Switch? Yes. Yes,
I
we
actually
are.
am.
Yeah.
I own Diablo 3 already for the PS4 and the Xbox, but I'm probably going to buy it again for Switch
Wow.
because
True believer.
it's fun, man.
I have been a fan since Diablo 2 on the PC and have enjoyed it even more now that it's on the console. As always, keep up the great work. We really do care.
I'm just thinking of playing Diablo 3 on the go,
I've never played it. I've always been interested, but the fact that it's the kind of game you could pick up for a few minutes and stop, right? Because Switch, you can just press power and it saves
Oh,
your
yeah,
state.
yeah. In that aspect, yes.
Yeah, so that's the kind of game I love on the Switch because you could play for a few minutes, set it down, and do your thing.
It's kind of without that, you basically you'll start a quest and you need to finish the quest before you stop playing if you don't have a pause sleep feature like the Switch does.
Uh-huh.
But if they get that working with the Switch, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's one of those games. Like, it's really fun, but I'm not going to buy it for another system. The end of that story.
All right.
We're still talking about Diablo 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Diablo 2.
Wow.
Diablo 2 was the last PC game I ever played.
Wow.
That was, and I was pressured into buying it by some. I know now
By some cool fifth
I
graders.
know now that they were considered the PC master race. How old were you when Diablo 2 came out?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me get a point of reference.
When Diablo 2 came out, I think it was 16,
Yeah. So
maybe 15.
I was in my 20s. Anyway,
Maybe I'm wrong. Man.
but-
You're talking about Diablo 2, right?
Yeah.
Not Diablo 3.
no,
two.
Yeah, 2.
Diablo
I have the
2
battle
came out
chest.
in June 29th, 2000.
Yeah.
2000, I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
You were saying you were 15 years. I thought you meant 2015.
Oh, no.
I
was
played
15
that
years old.
game. I played that game, and I like that game. It's Blizzard. It's got the different type of treasures that are all color coded, right? That's really super easy
The
for
loot
me.
system
I like it,
and-
right? We played it on what's the insanity mode one?
Insanity.
Oh, no, they
Die
call it-
once.
Dang it! I'm not remembering. But basically, If it's like what isn't it? You die once and you lose
You're done.
everything.
You're gone.
Your
It's over.
character's
You start
completely
over.
wiped.
Yeah.
You lose all your stuff. You lose all your progress.
I didn't play after that.
That sounds awful.
I didn't play after that. I'm done. I was like, what kind of a dystopian future is when video games can't save? We're moving forward, people. I lived through Nintendo
what you have to
where there was no saves.
What you have to remember is they put that in there on purpose.
They did it on purpose.
That was a feature.
I wish I could have known Owen in his angsty teen years.
Don't. No.
I was 13 when this game came out.
Yeah, I was in 2000. I was older than that.
You would have been what?
20.
20? I was going to say 18 or 20.
Really?
20.
Interesting.
Indeed. Nice. All right. Any other emails?
Yeah, one last email from Dustin. He says,
Dinkelman.
"Hey, Gadget Spot or Owen."
I put this in my show notes, so this is a good segue out of the emails to the show notes.
Please tell me it's not cryptocurrency, is it?
It is.
As
It's
a-
not cryptocurrency though. It's close.
As a super anime fan and gadget connoisseur, I was wondering if you have heard of crypto anime. And if not, maybe look into it if you get bored. Thanks for doing what you do. We do care. Dustin, the otaku.
So first of all, do any of you guys like anime? Do you like?
I like the good stuff.
Okay, like
I don't know
like
how to classify that.
cartoons. I don't either
Like-
without sounding like a dirty old man. Like I like the good stuff.
One Punch Man.
Yeah,
Would you count Pokemon as an anime?
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
anime.
Okay.
See,
Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, if it was big during like anywhere between 96 to 2002, give or take a little bit.
see, for me, it's really random. I liked Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, you
Yep.
had to like that if you were a kid in the 90s and early 2000s. One Punch Man is my favorite anime. I'm currently actually watching My Hero Academia. That's pretty good.
Have they
Are
come
you-
out with a number 2,
No.
a season number 2
Are you
of One
watching
Punch?
it on Crunchyroll?
No, I'm watching it on Hulu.
Oh.
Okay, side note, with One Punch Man, they're going to have a new episode in January.
Yay!
Now,
But
when
then they're not going to release any more new episodes until the year after.
Rick and Morty style. I hate them now.
Jerks.
we need to talk about Rick and Morty once he gets done.
But yeah, there's a few. I like Helsing's pretty good. I watched a few.
I'm a big Naruto fan myself.
Okay.
I got into that. I'm into the new one, his kid, Boruto.
There's
Thought that's really unimaginative, but
it's
hey, you know.
hard for me to
So you
get
got
into
Owen
those.
and you got Bowen.
Yeah,
It's hard for me to get into those because there's so many episodes.
I have them
Says
all.
the man who watched Dragon Ball Z.
No,
So-
I watched them as they aired.
So I don't,
Oh.
I don't share those. I have all those on Plex.
Yeah.
I don't share them because I'm embarrassed of them. but I do have an anime.
What else are you
category.
embarrassed of?
Many things, Jarron. Many
This
things.
is just one
Now,
of the things.
are you into anime?
No, that
That's not called
branch
anime.
of anime is called
hentai.
hentai.
It's got its own name.
know the name for it.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Get with the
You were
times,
just
James.
looking at it. I saw
Yeah.
the reflection off your eyes.
Don't pretend.
Don't judge me.
Anyway.
Don't pretend like you don't know.
Anyway, so
So
back
many
to we're
tentacles?
talking about what Dustin was talking about. So crypto anime is not so much the animation part of anime, but the stills, like artwork. And crypto anime, which is no longer called crypto anime, I might add. They rebranded their name to I'm going to find it because it's not the same.
Blockchain anime?
Blockchain.
Isn't it blockchain art?
Yeah, blockchain art or blockchain studios.
Yeah,
Is what it's
something
called.
like that.
Anyway, so they basically what you do is you can buy the original digital rights to this artwork for people that are artists.
Right.
And it's very strange because I went on the site and you use Ethereum. This is all powered by the Ethereum blockchain. And so you go there and you can say, okay, buy art. I clicked on it. Okay. And then you can click on something, some picture, and you get all the digital rights to this, except they maintain they maintain the
What,
creative rights?
Original piece?
the creative rights or whatever.
So they can still use it in their stuff if they
and
want to?
and they continue to get royalties on it even when it's sold in the secondary market.
Interesting.
Anyway, which is all tracked, and all this artwork is
So-
uploaded and tracked and kept on the blockchain.
Isn't the point of this basically to have digital artwork with a thumbprint basically
Yeah,
on
with
it?
with proof
So
of
proof of ownership.
Like right now, if you go buy a Rembrandt, you get all the paperwork behind it that says
Right.
this is an original. This is worth 50,000 million, whatever they. I'm not an art person, but and then that's your paper trail for
Yeah.
authenticity. And
So
they're
what's the
now
point of authenticity with digital pictures?
Some of these people, some of these artists become very, very famous after they have a hit show or something. And if you have an original piece of artwork, it could gain value.
It's
See,
not original if it's digital.
No, it is though. That's the original file that they created
Oh, jeez.
digitally.
Mm-hmm.
Like they drew it digitally to start out with.
Right.
Right.
There's no
but
paper.
There's nothing to distinguish the original file from copy 1,020,000.
Well,
That's
that's
the other thing.
exactly what the blockchain
That's
does.
what the other thing does is the blockchain, they dictate how many copies are made. They dictate how many copies are made. So you're saying that anybody could take one of these digitals and do it, but the checksum in the blockchain is verified. So if somebody duplicated the file based off of something they downloaded, because you can do that digitally,
Why can't you just take a screenshot of it?
it wouldn't match up the digital checksum that's listed in the Ethereum blockchain, which is
Exactly.
publicly saved forever.
But it'll look exactly the same from
It
the
would
screenshot.
look exactly the same, just like a purse, just like
You
a
could-
knockoff purse looks.
Yeah,
the same.
exactly.
You'd lose quality.
Is no difference than if you were to
Buy a
go
print.
buy a print of a Rembrandt. You know,
If you
Rembrandt.
view the file at native resolution, take a screenshot. It's exactly the same.
Like I
There's-
said, no
but
different
no-
than if you were to go buy a print of a
Yeah,
Rembrandt, but,
but-
people still pay 50 million thousand whatevers.
No, because
No bragging rights.
a print is more.
It's bragging rights.
A print won't have like the actual brush strokes like you have
If you
on the
buy a
actual
good print, it will.
canvas.
If you buy a good print, it will.
Yeah.
They'll reproduce all
Didn't
that
you ever
crap.
watch that Mr. Bean thing
Yeah,
where
when
he
he
accidentally
did,
ruined the
Whistler's
Whistler's mother,
mother.
and then he had to beat some eggs? He had to beat some eggs.
That
and then,
actually does sound familiar.
yeah.
It was a good show. I love that movie.
So this isn't so much about original content. Like Jarron's saying, you can take a picture, you can get a screenshot. I mean, it's digital. It's just ones and zeros and pixels. You can duplicate this. You can
Yeah.
easily duplicate it.
But they'll be able to tell that's
to
not
own-
the original.
But the ownership, yeah.
It's the collector's mentality,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's definitely for collectors.
I don't
the
think
weird
that
thing
exists
is,
with digital
the
content.
weird thing is, let's click on one of these right here. Let's look on this Tohoku Curtian Cute and ... I'm too lazy to expand the name. Let's go down and look at the price. This one is 0.4833 or 0.4843 Ethereum.
0.484. So that's
Wow.
like that's about 100 and
That's
probably
pricey.
$160.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, but some of these you go into them and they're like 2 Ethereum. You know what ones are more? You know what ones are more expensive?
Right.
I'll show you one. Jarron is
Basically, at this point, Jarron is basically saying, "I refuse to accept your reality, and I will substitute it with my own."
Well, when you
where this makes sense.
when you consider cryptocurrency and people are assigning value when really there's no inherent value, it's kind of the same thing. And I kind of understand, but at the same time, it just is maddening to me because it's a digital picture that can be copied.
every form
Ad
of
nauseam.
every form of currency went through this phase though, where like people are just like, this is now worth $10, and somebody went, why? And they just said, because I said so.
Because it is.
So anyway,
Do you have the
Well-
documentation to prove otherwise?
it was burned in a fire.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's not entirely true. Back when we first got the U.S. dollar, it was backed by gold.
Yeah, but
But
since
it was
the
still
60s or
somewhat-
70s,
Yeah,
when
it's not
we-
anymore.
Yeah,
But someone still had to decide this piece of paper is worth this much gold.
Right.
Well, why?
because
I
I really
say
like
so.
I really like gold.
because
because
my grandpa said
People
so.
trust the government.
Yep.
So the more expensive ones on what's called Block Studios. It's called blockstudios.net. That's the site. The more expensive ones, like the ones that are coming in 1, 2 Ethereum full units, are
Mhm.
always the naughty ones. They're the more racy ones. There's no hentai. There's no like pornography that I've seen on here.
But there's some skimpy
I didn't-
stuff.
And he looked.
And I didn't go 40 pages in or anything, but the ones that are a little bit more racy, those ones are more expensive. Sex sells. Anyway,
Obviously.
but yeah, it's cool because it's an actual business / use case. Wow, I got really loud in the microphone right there. Really good use case for Ethereum, like
For the blockchain.
for the blockchain.
I think it's
in particular.
interesting. I do think it's interesting, but like I said, maddening for some reason. I don't know why.
I thought there was going to be like an anime coin that used the
Yeah.
blockchain, the Ethereum network, like a lot of other coins are doing.
But
A lot of
there's
their
not.
tokens. They're called
Yeah,
tokens.
it's a token.
And it's no, it's you pay full on. They walk you through how to get a wallet. They walk you through how to set up your metaverse wallet, how to set up Coinbase, how to get US dollars into Ethereum.
Interesting.
And on the other side, this is also for the artists. They show you how to convert your earnings out to fiat, to US dollars, and
I think
The whole thing.
I wonder if anyone's actually making money from this.
Well,
Yeah, they are.
I was going to say, I look at this and I think this is obscure, but it is a legitimate use case that I could see where it actually puts Ethereum more on the map.
Yeah, and
as far as a reason to own and use and deal in it, because people can say, "Oh, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything," and you could, and then people can say, "Well, no. If you're into digital art, this is a way to own original digital art."
And a lot of the stuff is sketches, like pre-finished stuff.
Sure.
So it's kind of just like any artist would have like sketches in their studio and your
storyboards and stuff like that.
Most people are in the same mindset as Jarron, where this is just like they're laughing at kind of the what people are paying for some pixels, like digital. Like there's no real like physical value behind this. Like what is this? But
no, I totally agree with selling digital art. That makes sense to me. What I'm saying is the certificate of authenticity. That's the part that there's a disconnect in my brain.
But that's like the easiest part to show.
Yeah, and because the blockchain's
the only way to beat the
hackable.
blockchain is a 50%.
Sadly, one of the coins that I'm
Whatever.
backing highly got hit by that.
They got 50% attack.
Ubik got hit by a 51% attack.
51. That's right. Sorry.
And it's sad because it went from $5 to 55 cents.
Oh, your retirement.
I had 225 of those coins.
That sucks.
Anyway,
did they get it back?
It's on the way. It's been up and down. It's gotten over $1 before.
Well, no. I don't mean did they get the value back. Did they get control back?
They did get control back. When you get a 51% attack, you can write and execute your own problems basically. So you can completely manipulate the chain to pay you.
Right.
And you can then duplicate your transaction. And then before it's solved, you can do another one. And so they rapidly fixed it. And all of the people on Ubik were like, this is going to happen. We need to spread out the hash power. But nobody listened. And the big pools that control this, because it's pools that really drive that, right? Like if you have a big pool, they should split it off. But they're getting money. They're getting paid because more people are mining on their pool. They're getting a bigger cut. Anyway, they didn't do it, and it happened.
Did you watch the last season of Silicon Valley?
No, I need to do that.
There's a whole story arc in the last half of that season that has to do with that, and it is fascinating. It was so good.
Anyway, crypto, go check out blockstudios.net if you want to buy some digital art. It's really easy to do if you did want to buy some. I don't know any anime artists well enough. I'm not that much of an anime connoisseur to know any of the artists' names, but I'm sure that some of them, if you're big into anime and the art, you may recognize some of the names. And if you are an artist and want to get into this, it seems super easy to get started. So go do it.
I just had the worst jelly belly I've had in my life.
It's probably like a Bernie Bots.
It was a yellow one.
Snuck in there.
Oh man, it was horrible.
All right, let's. We got a few things we want to talk about today as well, other than crypto. Real quick, I'll do. I want to mention that there's a company out there that has figured out how to stream PC games to your Xbox One, not the other way around like
That's
what
cool.
Microsoft had. Microsoft already has it set up where if you have a Windows 10 PC, you can stream Xbox One games to your PC.
Which is horrible, by the way.
It doesn't work very good. It's super laggy.
So I have a really good internet here. Wired connection to the Xbox. Wired connection to my PC.
It doesn't go out to the internet. It stays within your LAN.
But still, wired connection to both machines.
Yeah, and
looks horrible.
It's not very good.
Plays horribly.
So that's why I'm still curious at how well this will work.
Like how's the latency
this takes a
when you play?
PC game. This takes a PC game to your Xbox that way.
Yeah, this goes the other way around.
Oh, okay.
It's a company called Rainway.
Hello, Rainway.
And they say in 2019 they're going to have it out for people to purchase and use. But basically, yeah, you'll be able to just like Steam Link or
Might be my way to join the race.
What's the other one I'm thinking of? NVIDIA Tegra, the Shield, where you can have the games running on your PC, but they're cast to your television.
I wonder what that quality is going to be.
In this case, it would be cast to your Xbox One.
That'd be sweet if it also cast HDR.
That's the thing. If it can handle the full bandwidth of like a high quality 4K HDR source, that'd be Game changer.
Who's doing
I doubt it though. That's 18 gigabits per second.
Yeah, that's
right
a
there.
lot.
What system's doing the work? The PC?
So the PC would be doing the work. The Xbox isn't doing any rendering. It's just accepting the video.
Less cool, but still cool.
It's accepting the video and sending control input back to the PC. So, but yeah, keep an eye out for that. I just saw that and thought that was pretty neat. We'll see if it actually pans out. Seems a little pie in the sky right now, but well, we'll see.
PlayStation's solution actually works really well.
To the Vita?
To the Vita.
Yeah, I used that back when I had a Vita, and that's pretty cool.
It is. I'm surprised Microsoft's is so horrible.
Let's see. More game-related news. Streets of Rage 4 was announced.
So, going back to my Genesis days.
When's the last time they had a Streets of Rage game?
Can you give me
on the
TL?
Sega Genesis?
What is that game?
It's a really, really cool beat 'em up type game.
It's like
that
Double
came
Dragon.
out on the Sega
So
Genesis.
you're talking about bad dudes.
Yeah, so you can play with, multiple people, co-op.
Uh-huh.
Had really cool music, really cool art,
Okay.
and you just go through levels. You punch people, you punch open garbage cans and get like an apple to level up your health, and it was just really cool.
Very realistic.
Yeah.
See, I feel
Back
like
in the day.
what you're describing is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's
to me
exactly
right now.
what it's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So it's
like
an
that.
arcade game.
Yeah,
It's like an arcade.
Oh, I
game,
played this all the time on the arcade.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's being made by the same developers who did Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, that remake.
Oh, they did a good
They
remake.
did a fantastic job. I played that game. I beat that game. I loved it.
I made another Wonder Boy.
So Lizard Cube's doing it, and I'm very excited about this. Streets of Rage was one of my favorite games on the
You
Genesis.
said
Coming out for
Lizard
PS4?
Cube?
Lizard Cube.
Do they
What else
have
have they made? That is such a weird name.
Do they have a any sort of release window for it?
Sometime next year, it sounded like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be mad when devs wouldn't give release dates, solid release dates, but then as I got older, I realized I'd rather have them wait and
I
keep
need to-
making it good
What
Right.
what
before
game just
locking
got
in
pushed
a
back?
release date. Battlefield 5.
Oh, that's right.
You know, and the other thing is there's so many good games out there to play that's like, oh, someone delayed a game. That's okay. I have
Backlog.
nine games I want to play
Do you
right
know
now.
what we really haven't seen in the last year or two?
What's that?
Games that are horribly buggy upon release. It feels like Mass Effect Andromeda
Battlefront 2
was the last
was pretty
one.
bad.
No, it
Battlefront 1, you mean?
Battlefront 2.
It wasn't.
Battlefront 2,
it wasn't
sorry.
buggy. That was decisions made by the developers.
Yeah.
I'm talking like straight up bugs.
It
here.
still ran good.
Yeah, it still ran really
Everyone
well.
was just pissed about the loot box stuff.
It feels like developers have really tightened up that process.
I swear
I
I
think-
played it and it was super janky. Maybe I'm thinking something else.
It could have been the beta. You were playing the beta.
Oh, that's probably it.
But yeah, I think you're right, Jarron. I think that they have. I think people caught so much flack,
Yeah.
the game devs, for the last few years, that they've kind of been forced to
I think Mass,
do a better job.
Mass
do some-
Effect had such a horrible response.
Yeah.
I think that kind of put the final nail in the coffin.
Well, do you guys remember how bad the GTA Online was when they first launched that back in like
Oh,
2014?
yeah.
Holy
That did
moly, that
not
was
run good.
so bad.
Worst example, I think, out of all of them has got to be the original release of the Master Chief Collection on Xbox.
Yeah.
It
That was horrible.
was awful.
Yeah.
When did that come out again? Like 2015, 2014?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago.
And they just finished it?
They just finished doing the big update. They say they're not done updating it, but this is the big kind of 1.0 push.
I don't
for the
particularly
update.
care for 343 Studios at the moment.
Oh, take that.
I do because
3,
I
4,
still want
3.
another Halo. Really
Yeah,
bad.
but it's
they own
you
it
got to
now.
go through them.
Yeah, they
to
own
get
it
the
now.
Halo.
But it's the only people dealing my crack.
We
so,
True.
I feel like the new unit of measurement for time on video games is Assassin's Creed. Like, how many Assassin's Creeds are going to come out between the last
that's
Halo
a
and
good-
this one?
That's a good one.
Well, speaking of which, it was really funny because last year Ubisoft said we are no longer doing an Assassin's Creed game every year.
But while we got your attention,
And
A
so
new
then-
Assassin's Creed
yeah,
game.
they released
The curtain.
Origins last year, and it had been like 18 months or almost 2 years
and
since.
then Odyssey, right?
But then they released that one, and then less than a year later, Odyssey is coming out now.
We meant once more than a year. We said we weren't going to release one every year, but we never said we would release one before two in a year.
Kevin the intern, get the ladder.
In their defense, both of those games were made by different studios within Ubisoft.
Yeah, but it's
so-
still Assassin's
But
Creed,
it's still,
right?
yeah. But actually, this one I'm kind of excited for from what I've read about. I haven't been excited for an Assassin's Creed game since 2, I think.
Who is
This one, though, it looks like there's going to be kind of more magic, quote unquote, or basically alien technology.
I still want to play Origins.
And it,
I thought Odyssey was set
Origins has a little bit more of that too, but Odyssey has quite a bit of it.
I thought Odyssey was
And
set during
it's-
like the Spartan times.
Yes, it's set during Greek mythology.
Oh.
And I'm a sucker for Greek mythology.
Do you think that was influenced at all by how well God of War did?
I don't think so, because God of War did Greek mythology like 5 times in a row and did really well.
Oh, I'm thinking of Norse mythology.
Yeah, they did Norse mythology in the last one. So anyway, that could be good. Let's
Who
keep
did
talking
Black
about-
or Assassin's Creed Black Flag? I know it was
Well, it's
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, I don't
but
know
like,
which.
who's doing the new pirate game that
The
is
same
like?
That's
people.
the same team. Yeah.
When is that coming out?
No,
Next year, I
yeah.
think.
Do you know what it's called?
I don't even know if they have a release date on it.
I thought I heard next year. I don't remember what it's called.
That's the
Pirates
one
something.
I'm excited about because that's been my favorite Assassin's Creed.
It looks to me what I wanted. What's that pirate game?
Yeah, I know exactly
on
what you're talking
on
about.
Xbox.
Disappointment in a boat.
That's the game I wanted that to be.
I like the art style though in that one from
It's a
Microsoft.
sweet art
Sea of
style.
Thieves?
Sea of Thieves. There we go.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, dude, playing that game, it's like I might as well just get a job at McDonald's and play McDonald's with my friends because at least then I'd be making money.
And you get free cheeseburgers.
I can't take you seriously without a hat on, man.
I know.
I gotta say it.
Your hair is so crazy.
I know.
So let's
It's haircut time.
Let's keep rolling on the Halo train because
Chugga 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 chugga.
we went to
Boo
Dave,
boo.
we went to Dave and Buster's and played through the entire campaign of Halo Fireteam Raven. And
That was so fun.
it was.
I needed it because
Now-
that game that's like Halo 3 era or is it Halo 2?
Halo 3.
Yeah. So it was quite entertaining.
Was it fun because you played with friends, or was it a
Yes.
genuinely
Yeah.
fun
No,
game?
no.
No, I
That's
would-
the reason it's fun.
I would have had to spend $400 to play through as much of the game as we did.
So here's the thing: we went on a Wednesday and having no idea that coincidentally that's also half price night at Dave and Buster's.
Thank goodness for that.
No kidding, because we spent almost $40 on just trying to get from the beginning to the end on a game that is 80 minutes, maybe
Yeah.
hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes.
Yep.
So that would have been $80.
It would have been about $80 to play all the way through that campaign.
So,
And that's with 4 people playing.
a little
Yeah.
bit of a recap. So, what happens was you guys went to go get in, and we had Ty come, which already basically makes up the 4 out of the 4 people that were going to play. So, I had to take a work call. You guys started the game. I get back and just watch you guys play for a little bit, and not being connected to the story or whatever you guys had already seen. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm all set.
So here's the problem I have with that game. I wish it was just a straight up light gun game like Time Crisis, House of the Dead. Instead, it's a turret mounted gun where you follow it points and you see a target receptacle on the screen.
I think
It was super fun when you were actually in a turret gun in the game.
now it makes sense for that.
Yeah, it got weird once you got out of the turret.
Pistol.
Yeah.
I'm using a turret gun with 2 handles to use the Magnum pistol.
Yeah, and you,
like
could
it's-
hold it down, and the shotgun is an automatic shotgun
Yeah.
somehow. And
I think the reason why they do that is so they can cram 4 of you guys in a small confined space. Because imagine you having your arms out like this, and then you're cross streaming, right?
I don't think it'd be a problem because if they were smart,
Well, not
they
for you.
would.
You got arms that are like tree trunks, man. They're huge.
Well, no, I would say they would use more of a like an MP5 style gun,
Oh, I
not
see
a
what you're
not a
saying.
pistol. So you'd keep that tucked into your shoulder anyway. You wouldn't be throwing your arms around.
But then you'd still have the same problem if it was a pistol.
And it'd be the other way around when you got in the turret. You'd have a weird MP5.
I'd be more okay with that, honestly.
no, they could have
that
like a turret
trade-off.
mount. Just put the gun on the turret mount, and then
Oh, that would have been cool.
it would have been awesome, right?
I wish I could
Yeah.
have measured your experience versus your experience with how tall you are, and you're
Right.
up here and it's down here.
Well-
Versus Jarron, you're a little bit more.
You also have
you're
to
closer to the
people
gun.
the people on
Yes.
the
To the
outside
to the ground.
edge,
Yep.
Owen has a very important
the
thing.
people
right
on the
here.
outside, the light gun doesn't calibrate correctly.
It's
so
not as
I was
accurate.
I was all over the place. Jarron was taking my kills left and right, which once
and up
once
and
it-
down.
Once it became right. Once it became
And left.
Once we realized it was competitive, and like at the end of every section
There's
there was like a
scores.
score. Jarron and Ty their heads imploded. They went like full like quiet. They like all of a sudden, if you had the game card with the credits on it, and
it was no longer co-op.
Oh
after that.
no! It was the Jarron and Ty show.
I got video of this, and honestly, at some point in time, I'll put it out. But I have a hard time editing stuff that I'm not necessarily in.
So
that's okay.
Oh yeah.
But the outside edge was really hard to target. And so
I
wanted to spend most of my time over on Tony's screen.
Well, and the
because that was straight on for me. Almost.
Yeah, and the other thing too is it's not, it doesn't track as fast as you move the gun. There's a lag.
Yep.
So anyway, but playing with friends on it is fun.
And the story, and a little bit of the story.
And a little side story to Halo 3.
The story was a throwaway story to me.
It was throwaway for sure, but it was kind of fun to see just the outside point of view.
Were you just Marines, or were you like Spartans?
Well, see, that's where it doesn't really make sense either, because it takes place during Halo 3, but I don't think there were any other Spartans during the time of Halo 3 yet.
It was really cool to see Master Chief jump in and save us a couple times.
Yeah, you see Master Chief,
but cutscenes.
Wasn't he the only Spartan in Halo 3 though?
Yeah, we weren't Spartans.
They kind of we were.
No, we were just ODST.
Oh,
we weren't.
Yeah, we were just Marines.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And so we were Fire Team Raven, which is where they get. And so we would go in and clear like the scene where the Scarab comes in for the first time in Halo 3, where you see the Scarab and you're like, that's the biggest, craziest, deadliest thing. We blew the hole that makes it so Master Chief's ship could take him in.
Right.
In the show, in the thing, he gets shot down or whatever, and he makes it to the Scarab, but you don't realize how. Like anything else. So it is a little bit of a throwaway story, but it was cool just to have a little bit more of it because I really like the story behind it.
My opinion, graphics were barely a step up from Halo 3.
Yep.
I thought they were not that great. It was super fun with friends. Definitely go on Wednesday night so you save money.
Yeah.
It's if you're into Halo, it's worth a playthrough.
Definitely.
That's about it.
Would you have sacrificed what Halo did we just have? Halo 5? Or is that 4? Okay. Would you have sacrificed Halo 6 for this game?
No.
Oh, no way.
No,
okay, so their time was wasted.
No, a different dev team did
it was a totally different team.
It wasn't 343?
No, they hired it out. Yeah. So I would give it like a 7.
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah.
No.
Probably a 7.
I think we said different scores
343
on the video, but yeah.
It's 343 published it.
No,
but
it developed it, and then the publisher was Raw Thrills.
I think you have that mixed up.
I could have sworn it was a different team that developed it. Or maybe they just set aside a different team within 343. I don't know. All I know is online people freaked out when they saw that and they're like, you're wasting your Halo time on this?
Yeah.
And 343 was like, no, it's a separate team.
I'm kind of like that with George R. R. Martin the same way where I'm like, I freaking hate you. I'll read this, but I will not like you for it. I'm not going to like you for it, but I'll read it. Since if they did waste their time instead of Halo 6, I'm like, fine. I'll play this.
I'll tell you what though, you can log into your Halo account when you play the game.
That's pretty cool.
And
did you get anything?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I knew it.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
On Halo 5, if you play the multiplayer, you have rec packs in Halo 5.
Yeah.
I got a special Fire Team Raven Halo rec pack.
What's a rec pack?
It basically gives you unlocks for the multiplayer.
Oh, cool.
Like drops and guns.
Owen's going back.
I have to go back now. And an achievement? Did you get
I
an
didn't
achievement?
notice any achievement.
You don't work very far away from there. You could just scooter on over there.
I got to say, though, I don't know if you get anything else for playing it further, because remember, we didn't log into my gamer tag until we were done.
Oh, right. So what if you don't complete the game?
So we only got partway through the first level, so I'm wondering if we go back and log into our gamer tags, do we get anything else cooler for playing all the way through?
Do you get to pick up on a save point too?
I don't know. Maybe.
How are we doing as far as time?
We're fine. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it was pretty cool. All right. Was there any other video game? I do want to mention quickly that there's been leaks and things for the 2080 Ti and what it can do. Oh, man, we got to talk about Cyberpunk 2077 as well.
Are you getting your 2080 Ti's?
So right now, it changes every day. Right now, I've decided I am going to hold off.
Why?
Until the 3080.
According to leaks, so I could be wrong. This is still rumors.
They sound awesome.
The leaks show that there is a gain on current titles, like not with ray tracing and all that cool stuff that they keep talking about it for, but just if you were to take the card and play on the same games you already play, a 1080 Ti, the 2080 Ti is only 25 to 30% better than a 1080 Ti.
Well, Tony, what are you going to do when, let's say I happen to buy the 2080 Ti, and I'm enjoying the latest graphics on Tomb Raider.
And he obtains a better status than you.
And we're talking to somebody, and I'm like, I have 2080 Ti's. What do you have, Tony?
TIs, you're going to get 2.
How are you going to feel?
You are not going to get 2.
How are you going to feel?
You need to answer the question. How are you going to feel?
I'm not going to feel good, that's for sure.
He said it changes every day, so it could,
I know it
it could
does.
change. It could
But-
change again.
when the
Here's-
new
here's-
benchmarks come out, he'll change.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Here's the problem, though, too, is the ray tracing and stuff. Everything I've read, nobody has shown any game that pulls off ray tracing right now at 4K 30 with ray tracing enabled.
Because they are still optimizing it. I think they can.
If they get it up to 4K 60 area, then I'd consider it
Well,
heavily. But I'm not. It's not a good enough jump, especially when you factor in the frame rate hit ray tracing has,
and it's
to justify the 1080 Ti.
It's
upgrade.
really early days for ray tracing too. Like it sounds like Shadow of the Tomb Raider is only using ray tracing for shadows,
and it's not even going to be on for a while. It'll be a post-launch patch.
and Battlefield 5 is only using ray tracing for reflections.
Yep.
So I guess the holy grail would be using ray tracing for shadows and reflections.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess this was more of a creator's update. Like this, like people need this. They're going to start creating with this now that they have this capability. And so it's kind of really early. Like Jarron was saying, it's really early in the game to have it be in production and have it be useful.
It absolutely
but
is.
if you're a creator and ray tracing is your new thing, that's the new up.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
So what you're saying is it's like owning a 6K TV right now. It's great to have it, but
An
what are you
8K.
going to consume on it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just replace 8 with 6.
No, they have a 6K TV.
8.
8K.
6.
86.
I've never seen a 6K TV.
There's no such thing as a 6K TV.
But that's the way my brain is working right now. Is like I love that ray tracing stuff, but there's not even going to be enough games in the 20 generation, if you ask me, that support it well enough. Might as well see
until Metro Exodus comes
That
out,
might be
because
the-
you love that game so
that might
much.
be the one.
I'm interested to see how it does mining and a cryptocurrency.
Well, I'm sure you are.
I want to see what it does.
All
I'm not
right.
going to buy one. But
Let's talk real quick about rumors and speculations on the new Apple iPhone.
Oh, out of all my stories, this is the one that I find most boring. Okay, so
Then why'd you put it in?
Talking about something else.
because I figured that you guys would want to talk about this. So here's the dealio is
rumored dealio.
I can't do that.
Yes, please don't.
Gosh dang it, we pressed enter and everything on my thing went. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna open that up. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so I go ahead and check out the show notes because there is I included a YouTube video in on what we can expect from the next iPhone.
Rumored.
The rumored iPhone. But
We'll know next week. They announce them on the 12th.
the 13th is
Yes.
the 12th or 13th.
12th, yeah.
but the other thing too is rumored the next iPhone X is supposed to be the XS model. And the
Terrible name, by the way.
Yeah, because you think extra small.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, yeah.
When
That's
I saw
really
that,
bad.
I was like,
Extra
oh, okay.
stupid.
Which
Awesome. High five.
the base, I don't know how much the X costs right now out the door. I thought it was over
$1,000.
$1,000.
Starts at 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, it comes down in price by about $101. Rumored to come down about $101 to $899 for the 5.8-inch 64 gigabyte model.
Why are we getting such details when it's just rumor?
Well, that's the thing is it's all about kind of the looks of this next one. Everything has that nice curved edge.
According to leaks, it's going to go more to a like hard edge, huh?
The leaks look
Isn't it?
exactly the same to me. It's just they're going to have a larger version of the iPhone X, and they're going to have a cheaper version of the iPhone X, and then obviously the sequel to the iPhone X.
Now, what did you mean by the hard edges?
I mean,
Because
see, look
it
at
looks
the
exactly
corners.
the same to me.
Yeah, it looks
Corners
exactly
are
the same to me.
hard. Like they're
We'll
not
see.
rounded. They're got a hard
They're
edge.
rounded.
I don't
rounded.
expect anything too
See,
great.
look, they're rounded.
I bet Face ID will be faster. I bet it'll have a faster processor like it always does. I bet
Let me see your phone, Jerry.
People will buy it because
I
it's
bet
Apple.
the camera will be much better because Android has really leapfrogged Apple in the camera department.
That's how,
so
it is. That's how it is on the current model. It's rounded.
and nobody's paying
rounded.
attention to me still
That's
I
rounded.
am.
because they're obsessed over Tony's comment here.
edges.
Listen,
Okay,
I'll
sorry.
admit when I'm wrong. By the way, that it was 8K TV. I was thinking
you.
of the
There was never in
the
question.
red weapon camera that shoots in 6K.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
But I'll admit when I'm wrong, but
I'll tell-
that is round, friend.
I agree with James.
Thank
Tony
you.
is off his rocker.
Whatever. Screw you.
Anyway,
guys.
I don't expect
Whatever.
anything too great. The Apple Watch, however, seems like it's going to get a pretty hefty upgrade. So I'm excited about
So
that.
people that waited for the Series 3, because we had somebody write in and say, hey, should I wait for this?
Yeah.
Or should I
Yeah.
go for this? They're going to be
Is it
pleasantly
only the
surprised.
Series 3 that we're on?
Yeah, this will
I
be
feel
Series
like the
4.
watch has been out forever.
I am always excited to see what they're going to do with their new system on a chip. Their new CPU. The A12 is rumored to be quite the beast. So
The next model, though, that isn't the SX, the rumored iPhone 9, is rumored to have a 6.1-inch OLED display with a similar all-screen design, kind of what the X version has right now.
yeah, so they're getting away from touch sensor completely.
They're thinking about putting it under the glass.
And they're rumored to
the
start.
No. They're using their Face ID for everything.
Yeah,
now.
it'll be Face ID
Yuck.
for everything.
They're
Yeah.
rumored to start at $700, which is kind of a little, well,
I want a makeup artist to really mash up somebody's face and see how far you have to get away from the original before it
Dude,
stops
I-
recognizing
if
you.
it's anything like the facial recognition I have at work to get into the data center, if I don't shave for long enough, I can't get in.
I love Face ID. I will not go back to fingerprint.
What about when you're in your bed?
It still works.
Even though you don't have,
Even though half my face is obscured, it still works.
that sounds insecure to me.
super secure.
I love it.
and they are rumored to go on sale Friday, September 21st.
Except for my
Sounds about
previous
right.
phone where the Face ID module just stopped working and I had to get a brand new one.
And what's the
Yeah.
trend? Usually the new iOS comes out on
Yeah.
the day that they announce it, right?
It'll probably
Yeah.
be the day after or something,
Oh.
but it should come out next week.
Uh,
Dolby Atmos on Apple TV. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
and Google Maps on CarPlay. Apple Play,
Oh, that's great.
finally.
Oh, Yep.
Which with an integration into Waze.
That's
Just
even That's
fantastic.
even greater.
Yep.
Okay, let's do a couple. Well, maybe we'll just do one review this week, and I'll hold off on what I want to review for next week.
We can shorten it down quite a bit if you want. I can do mine pretty quick. Because a lot of it's going to be in the video that we make.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we'll see. So James
Yeah.
has a DJI Mavic 2 Pro.
So not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before when they announced the DJI Mavic Pro 2,
He
they
decided
announced
to-
two different models.
He decided to order one.
Yup. And not just that, but I got the little goggles that came with it too because I've always wanted to feel like what it feels like to fly.
Racing goggles.
Awesome. A quick TLDR review is goggles okay. It's like taking the phone and putting them an inch away from your face.
It does not feel like you're flying at all.
No. It's not immersive.
No, not even a little bit. That being said, there is a setting that I did not have turned on to where if you move your head, it moves the camera on the bottom.
Have you done it yet?
No.
Oh,
I would have had it turned on tonight, but I can't figure out the setting.
right. Because I would love to see how responsive that is.
Yeah, I just need to spend more than 2 minutes with it. And honestly, I haven't had a ton of time to play with it. Outside of that, in every way, shape, and form, this is a better drone than the previous models.
It is. So it feels like it's a bit bigger.
I wouldn't say that it's bigger, but now what I mean by better things is I can kind of break it down to the joysticks. Like the thing that's annoying is the controller for it. You would put it in its carrying case, and then the controllers would stick out. I mean, think of taking your Xbox controller and putting it in your pocket. The main discomfort is going to be from the little nubs, the little joysticks.
The nubbins.
They make it so you can unscrew the joysticks and then put them on the inside of the actual controller. That is basically the I don't know, explanation of how they've made it ergonomically better in every way, shape, and form.
In
Like,
other ways, it's exactly the same, basically,
Well,
in every other way.
it's better. But, well, what I'm saying is that small innovation kind of defines the rest of the innovations. Like they made the things like that better. Plus, it comes with a better camera. It's more responsive. It connects better to my phone. Holy moly!
So the camera is so good.
What you're
Yeah.
saying is, aside from the camera, it feels more iterative,
Yeah.
the update, than
It feels
like
more
evolutionary.
ergonomically correct.
Okay.
Outside
Well,
of that,
it has more sensors on the body
Yeah.
to avoid obstacles.
I can show you guys once we get done if you guys really want to see it. But at nighttime, it has a light that turns on when you are like 10 to 15 feet off the ground, so you can actually see where it's going to land.
Wow.
I mean, it's a solid camera. Now that being said, for the drone, which comes with one battery and a couple of extra blades, I bought the whatever to go case.
Flymore?
Yeah, the Flymore package, which came with. I like how you looked at my receipt.
Hey, I read the whole thing.
I came with the Flymore package, which came with a better battery charger that I can charge 4 batteries at once, 2 extra batteries, more blades, and a carrying case. And I got the Sport Edition, which came with the goggles. In total, it came out to $2,200,
Yeesh.
which is a hefty price. But that being said, to have HDR for a drone, especially where we live in Utah, with it being so like crappy air quality,
That footage was so amazing.
yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna make a video. Check it out on our YouTube. Just search the Gadget Spot or Gadget Spot.
It's pretty much the gold standard of drones right there.
Yeah, and the zoom model is pretty rad, but I would prefer 10-bit color over a zoomable lens.
Yeah,
The picture was pretty amazing.
it was way nice.
And that's all I want to say about
What do you give it rating wise?
It's the industry standard. That's the thing is when you think of like music devices, Apple is kind of the gold standard for that. That it's an industry
For your
leader.
average consumer, if you talk to anyone that's an audiophile, they will never touch an Apple iPod or anything like
What's
that.
the industry like if you're a snob?
There's the Sony Walkman. There is iRiver, I think, is another one. They're these basically niche, super high end, non-compress, non-loss audio formats.
The Pono by Neil Diamond.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of, the Neil Diamond one. They are just super high quality audio players.
Oh. Well, I guess that there are drones like
But,
that.
yeah, like I said, they're in a different category.
Yeah, but this is for
your-
the price.
For your average well-heeled consumer,
I mean, there are cheaper
You
ones,
can't do
but you
better
get
than
what you
this.
pay for.
Yeah.
It's like a boosted board versus other mechanized longboards.
right?
So, so a 10 out of 10 because it's the
It's
best
the new
I've
gold
ever had.
standard.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I could do a quick review on this as well. I got the chance to upgrade to a Note 9 on my phone.
My
Not a
9.
Pixel. You should have gone. Do they always go Samsung?
It was specifically this phone. They had one. They're like, "Do you want to upgrade?" And I was like,
Oh, okay.
"Yeah,
So this wasn't. This was a work one, but they had one come back in.
yeah."
I see.
And so
Right place, right time.
it was basically that. And I actually, as a result of it too, I had to, or part of the deal was I had to make a mini review of it and give it back, give the review to the guy to pass along to the Samsung rep.
Oh.
So they wanted feedback on it and everything. They're business to business
I see.
stuff. So it was basically just right place, right time.
Did you have to write a review or did
I
you
just
give a verbal one?
Yeah, I just gave him a verbal review,
It's
and
good.
he sent an email with that.
He did all the
info.
work?
Yeah.
Wow. Right place, right time.
For sure. So the Note 9, now coming from an S9 Plus, which I got when they launched, I didn't think I'd notice how much of a difference or think it was that much better, honestly. I thought, it's same chipset, probably the same RAM, same amount of RAM anyway. And it's still a Samsung device. So,
Expect all that bloatware.
yeah, I just kind of expected it is going to be, more of the same, but here's a chance to try it out and see because it'd be good for the show too. I was wrong. Like, the Note 9, in my opinion, is head and shoulders above the S9 Plus.
Head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders.
Knees and toes.
It's got a much larger battery.
Eyes, ears, mouth, and nose.
I have yet to ever run the battery down throughout the day. The lowest I got at one point was a super heavy day. I got it down to 30% before bed with no charging throughout the day. Fantastic battery. Camera is the same as the S9 Plus, so it's a very good camera. Not the best of the best, but pretty close. Samsung's had really good cameras on everything for the last few years. The screen is absolutely gorgeous. It's a huge OLED. It's their nicest OLED screen they've put out yet. The bezels at the top and the bottom are ever so slightly smaller than the previous Note and then the S9 Plus.
And it has a headphone jack.
And it has a headphone
Wow.
jack. Yes. And it works great. Headphone jack works great.
Pretty sure I made you a bet about that, so you owe me money.
No, that was an old one.
Dang it.
Yeah, that was an old Apple device. They moved the fingerprint sensor to underneath the cameras now.
Much better.
Much better placement.
Swear the Pixels had it.
Yeah, Pixels had it there the whole time. It's got the wireless charging. It's got so they are expensive. I would say that unless you really want a big phone with a stylus, it might not be worth the money.
Do you use the stylus?
I've used it a little bit. It's pretty fun. Like
Now, did you have to force yourself to use the stylus,
no,
or did you use
I
it
actually found a
kind
use
of-
case for it yesterday. I was taking a picture of something, and I wanted to add some information to the picture before I sent it in a text, and I just whipped out the stylus and wrote on the picture the information that needed and sent it off. It was pretty slick.
That's what I've done on the Surface Pro. I didn't think I would ever do that.
Yeah.
I was like, touchscreen, never going to use it.
But then you do, and it's
But
like, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh, I lost my stylus on my Surface.
You're on a MacBook right now, buddy.
Oh, that's why.
That's
Are you serious?
hilarious.
Yeah, that's an old man moment right there.
What happened to my stylus?
Oh no, where's my stylus? Oh, MacBook Pro. So anyway, yeah.
And it even has Android Pie.
And no, it does not. It has 8.1,
Oh.
but
I like how he was almost there, and you
yeah.
had to turn around to do a number 2 on it.
No, it definitely needs to be brought up. Samsung is terrible at updating their software. This is on 8.1, which is still a step above S9 Plus, which is on 8.0 still.
Samsung, get your crap together.
And so, and you know what? I don't even use the stupid TouchWiz launcher anyway. I automatically install Nova Launcher and have my customized stuff that I just back up to their servers. So it just pulls it down, and I'm good to go real quick. But let's see what else. Oh yeah, the base model, $1,000 starting price, $999, comes with a 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of memory, and you get an SD card slot as well.
Did this get released
So-
after the Apple iPhone X?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
feel like, do you feel like, do you feel
this
like
phone,
this is Apple
just,
setting the bar so that the other industry can
exactly
go
what,
up to
that's
that
exactly
same
what
price?
happened. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
The phone's brand new.
Because this phone only came out a week and a half ago. But so with that, there's also an option for $1249, which comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of memory built in.
Just to note, this computer only has 8 gigs of RAM and a 256 gig SSD.
It's
So
crazy.
Yeah.
I cannot think of a single use case where you would need that much built-in storage on a phone, because there's also still the SD card slot on there where if you want to spend another $500, you can get a 512 gigabyte SD card
1 terabyte
for 1
storage.
terabyte of storage. Completely useless if you ask
Who
me.
would do that in this age of cloud storage and cloud backup
Well,
where it's like,
if you fly a lot, you could fit so many movies on that phone, and the screen's pretty big.
The screen is a good size.
That's a good point.
So, but still, if you ask me, I think I see no reason to buy the $1,249 one because it has an SD card slot on it. You could
Yeah.
still buy
but
a
you get
big
the
fat
but you
SD.
get the more 8 gigs of operating system
You
RAM.
get 2 more gigs of RAM, but honestly, I don't think that's really going to make a difference in anyone's
Whoa.
day-to-day use.
This is the first time Tony's ever admitted
I know.
that more RAM doesn't matter.
I don't think it does, honestly.
What would
At-
you
at
need
this
that much
point-
RAM for
at this
your
point.
phone?
So more
to play
RAM.
Fortnite faster?
No. The more RAM,
no,
the
no.
more RAM you have means the more apps you can keep open at once without having to close the apps and get back into them. There's a couple of videos online you can watch on YouTube where it combines a speed test of side by side of like the Note 9 and a iPhone 10, and it opens up a bunch of apps and then goes back to the home screen, and then it opens up those same apps again. It goes 2 rounds. And you watch it go, and in the first round, the iPhone X always wins by a small but decent margin. And then it goes straight into round 2, and then the Note 9 crushes it because it has more RAM and it can
To
keep
hold
all
them all.
those
Yeah.
apps open in the background.
It'll also hold up
Interesting.
internet tabs longer.
Yep.
Doesn't have to reload them.
Exactly. So that's why you want more RAM on a device. So I guess theoretically, with 8 gigs of RAM, you could have more stuff open and it would access it faster.
Pretty much your whole
But
phone.
that's what I mean. Like, how many apps do you want to have open all the time in the background? So that's why I say 6. At this point, 6 I think is probably plenty.
So I remember last year's Samsung devices, they was really aggressive with the RAM, even though it had plenty of RAM in it. It would close the apps even when it didn't need to.
yeah,
Have you seen any problems with that?
I haven't noticed it. No,
Okay.
but I haven't been looking for it either. So it's hard to say. But so yeah, I would say everything being said, it is a fantastic phone. If you have the money that you want to spend on it. Now there are definitely I think personally, if you're going to spend your own money, there's better options out there that you get almost all that bang for your buck for half the price or 2/3 the price.
You get more bang for your buck.
Like the OnePlus 6, you can get the 8 gig version of RAM on that for, I think that model costs like $500. So like half the price. And it's the same Samsung 845 chipset, or not Samsung, Qualcomm, excuse me. So I mean, yeah, but it doesn't have a stylus. It doesn't have as nice of a screen.
Camera.
You know, the camera's not as good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, you get what you pay for a little bit. But I would say, yeah, if you got the scratch and you feel like you want to go to a big phone, it's the top of the line. It's the top of the heap right now. And
as long as you don't care about updates.
Yeah, that is also a downer. So as a result, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, -1 for old software and the price.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's really nice.
It looks really cool.
Side note, I just ordered that camera.
Hey,
the
there's the
Wise?
James we know.
Yep. Well, it's only 20. Well, it's $25.
Did you get
after
the
shipping.
rotating one?
No.
Oh, why not?
Dude, you got to have the rotating one for the baby.
Yeah.
Why
Why?
didn't you get you can't pan with it?
Yeah, you can't pan or anything.
Okay.
You got to get the rotating.
Yeah.
Cancel it in order to
Cancel
rotating
it, get
one.
the rotating.
What's
No,
the
look at
10
this.
bucks
Look at this.
more?
Look at
No,
this.
no, get the rotating.
What's the
For
difference?
$10 more, dude?
It's only $10 more.
Yeah.
Look at that. It goes side to side.
Oh, that one rotates.
Is
Yeah.
it the long cylindrical one?
Goes side to side.
Or maybe that's just if you move it yourself.
Yeah, that's just showing
Yeah,
you that
yeah,
it-
yeah.
That's
You got to get
manual.
the rotating one.
That's manual.
That is misleading on the website.
What? Why?
It makes it look robotic.
Makes it
look
makes
like
it look
does
like you can move
automated.
it, but you can't.
There's no.
What?
Makes it look adorable.
The only way that turns is if you position it with your
Manually,
hand.
yeah.
That's the one that has the pan and zoom.
You want the rotating one, James.
All right.
All right. Let's see. We got time for one or two more. Okay. This will be a real quick one because we've already gushed long enough about Cyberpunk 2077 back when it was shown off more at Gamescom, but they showed a 48-minute long gameplay trailer where it was actual
long.
gameplay, and they explained as they went what they were doing with it. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for that game. It looks so awesome. Graphically, it looks amazing. One of the fun things about that video was you could see some of the graphical glitches as they went, some of the shadow stuff. There was one scene where a guy was floating for about half a second before he fell back down to where he should be sitting.
And
So
that's comforting because the graphics were so good, it looked pre-rendered.
Exactly.
And it's not pre-rendered.
And now you can see that it wasn't pre-rendered because there were glitches, theoretically. So anyway, the gameplay looks just awesome. The graphics look stunning. I can't wait for that game.
And Tony needs a pillow.
Yeah, I can't
Well-
stand. I can't stand up right now.
I mean, how you doing that? And then also Henry Cavill and Witcher 3, right?
Yep.
How's that going for you?
Oh man, Henry
Yeah.
Cavill got announced to
Cavill.
be Geralt.
Cavill. It's Cavill.
Is it Cavill?
I think it's Cavill.
I
I
thought
thought
it was
it was
Cavill.
Cavill.
No.
Henry
Well,
Cavill.
Either way, Superman
Superman
got
is now
announced to be Geralt of
Yeah,
Rivia now.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm pretty excited for that, for the Netflix series that they're making.
yeah.
So my only caution about that in my head is I'm almost done listening to the first Witcher book, and the Netflix series is supposed to stick closer to the Witcher books because it's not affiliated with CD Projekt Red.
Can I get out of the books what I would get out of the game playing it story wise? Or do I need to play the game to get that story? Because I just don't have the time to play that
I know
big of a game.
that's
But I want the story because everything I've
well,
heard sounds awesome.
It didn't come down to story for me. It came down to there's too many mechanics in that game to keep.
it's got a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
So
it's a lifestyle.
like I was gonna say, the first book is called The Blood of Elves, and it's not a terribly long read. I'm listening to it on Audible. It's about 10 hours. It's not too long.
That's pretty short, yeah.
Yeah. But there is maybe 10% the amount of action in that book as there are in the game, which I guess makes sense because a game has to have more action.
Right.
But it is a talky book. It's way talky.
Do you need the game to get the references?
No.
Or could you pick that up without
Yeah.
playing the game at
I
all?
would say you could pick it up for sure. I would say check out that book. I'm going to give another one a shot after that because it's talky, but it's good. Like, it's well written, but it's just not nearly as actiony. It's not like reading a Dresden novel.
Yeah.
There's plenty of action in those, you know. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Also,
I've noticed that, like, generally speaking, either books based on video games are awful. Well, not awful, but just not as, because the bar's set already pretty high for video games.
books based on video games.
I
Yes.
thought the
Like
books came first.
like the Halo series.
Yeah, like the
books?
Halo series.
Okay.
Those are amazing. Well,
think-
the majority of them are.
Well, and I think they have a formula they have to follow after the game. You know,
Yeah.
they see, okay, there was this much action. There's got to be, equal amount of action in the book.
If
a thing.
yeah, if you have an Audible account, I highly, and you like Halo 1, read or at least listen to Halo the Flood. Holy moly.
Is that a good one?
It's a different, it follows the first video game perfectly. Like down to at the end of the game when you're trying to escape the Pillar of Autumn, I believe, there's a elevator that comes down and there's a elite in it, and I can't remember if it's one or two grunts. There's a small part in that book that are about those characters.
How are the graphics?
I mean,
As good as you
2D?
can imagine.
side scrolling,
2D
generally
side scroller.
speaking, left to right, up, top to bottom. That was a good question.
All right, dog. What do you want? We got time for one more of your stories. What do you want?
I think Jarron needs to get the new Netgear router because he ran Cat 6 in his house.
In the basement, I did.
In the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, the
So-
upstairs is 5e.
Yes.
Well, the new Nighthawk XR700 comes
garbage.
with 10 gig.
Does it?
It comes with 10 gig on the inside.
Okay. And how about the wireless performance?
It's got the new AD protocol.
AD. I gotta
After
get
death.
it. That means I got to get a new laptop too.
So yeah, but if you want to get 10 gig, you actually have to get an SFP that Netgear makes. You can use. I think you
What's
can
that?
use SFP's small form factor.
Safe for partner.
What is it called?
I don't know. It's basically an adapter
Yeah. So it turns
For what?
for the end of your cable. So most 10 gig uses this SFP to either transform it into a specific kind of electric wavelength or a light wavelength.
optical most
Yeah,
commonly.
most of the time
So
it's
small
optical.
form factor pluggable is what SFP stands for, and that's how you basically turn it into light, where it can travel faster. But you have to convert it to Ethernet when it gets here.
That's why you need the SFP to go from copper to light.
Wow.
And it comes with an SFP port built into the router itself. So you still have to buy the adapter, but you could theoretically get 10 gig inside now.
Wow.
Which
I'm looking at a picture of this thing. This is slick looking.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It is sexy.
But I don't know. I mean, what if it can't run Merlin?
Well, yeah, I'm seriously worried about that because I tried so hard to get my wake up on LAN working.
Or what if it doesn't do the other thing where you couldn't get your gig speeds outside? Remember you had to turn off that thing that Merlin?
Cut through forwarding.
Yeah, there you go.
If it's brand new, it's definitely got to do that.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. They are. I didn't see a price in this article, but it's really cool to see 10 gig. I mean, there's literally no reason unless you
There's
are.
a price down at the bottom, $500.
There you go,
Oh,
500
I'd rather
bones.
buy a scooter.
$4.99.
You can't run it. You can't ride a scooter at 10 gig.
Oh.
So it's
Yeah,
got
you're right there.
It's got two 10 gig multi-gig ports
Yep.
and one. So what's the single
So it's got one SFP that you plug in, and then
two 10 gig ports?
yeah, Ethernet.
But it's got an additional 6 1 gig ports too. So you can plug eight devices into it.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's got
man.
it's got the standard 1 gigs, and then on the right, if you look at the picture in the back, it's got one 10 gig LAN SFP port, SFP plus port that you actually have to plug in your SFP module into.
Is that the one that's on the far right by
Mhm.
the power button?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's 10 gig, the 10G LAN.
Oh, yep,
So-
sure is.
Oh, so you can't plug in 10G internet.
No, it's only inside. Yeah.
It's 10 gig
Oh,
LAN.
forget it.
You don't even know no one offers 10 gig LAN.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean 10
But-
gig WAN.
But you would be able to do that anyways because if they did 10 gig on the outside, you would be able to upgrade to that because it's just fiber.
Yeah.
So they just turn it on. So anyway, but they don't offer it.
That's crazy that that's coming to the consumer market.
It's crazy because who's transferring that big of files inside? I guess if you have, so the use case that they talk about is if you're storing large video files, like if you're doing large video renders and you're keeping your storage on site,
Yeah,
10 gig,
that'd be huge.
10 gig, a 10 gig LAN could transfer like a 3 or 4 terabyte file in about a minute or two.
Yeah, it's
So,
super fast.
I mean, like it could do some major hauling, but I just never. I mean, I guess if you had it hooked up to the router, if you had like a NAS or something hooked up to your router, then yeah, for sure.
And there are a few computers now that offer 10 gig ports.
Yeah.
A few towers, and the iMac Pro offers 10 gig.
That's what you have to remember too. Is if you've got the SFP, if you've got the 10 gig on one, you have to do it on the other devices to make it compatible.
Exactly. You can't just put one on there. It'd be a waste.
Yeah, because it would bump it down to one gig once it hit the Ethernet. So
it's got a 1.7 gigahertz quad core to act as a Plex media server as well.
That's pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, that router I'll probably never own one. Most of my routers come to me secondhand when the place that I'm working for
Gets cycled out.
So anyway, I just thought it was really cool, and I thought of Jarron because he's such a
Speed whore.
speed whore.
Yes.
James,
Yep.
I do want to talk real quick
About the light bulbs because I might have a giveaway.
Oh, okay. I wanted to talk about the Airstream.
Oh.
We could talk about the light bulbs.
We could talk about the Airstream in just a minute if
We could
that's
do
okay.
Airstream next time.
Airstream. Oh, light bulbs.
There you go.
So here's the I gotta stop doing that.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Here's the deal. Is we got a lot of stuff in our homes nowadays that's smart. We got smart TVs. We got kids that are getting smarter. We got smart refrigerators, which is what I have.
That second one's questionable.
And so it might seem a little bit daunting if you're getting into the game if you only have like an Amazon Alexa, a Google Home, something like that. So what is the gateway drug to getting into smart home automation?
Light bulbs
Light
and plugs.
bulbs.
Is it light bulbs?
Light bulbs!
And the plugs.
Why?
And the smart plugs.
Because everybody needs a light bulb.
You're into like full 50s salesman here now.
So anywho,
I imagine this is what Thomas Edison sounded like presenting his light bulbs for the first time.
everybody would want
no,
one.
I got an impression of Thomas Edison when he was in...
I'm assuming I'm saying this.
He's like, give it here.
He's presenting his light bulbs for the first time that he stole from someone else.
Yeah. I'm going to give away these Spectrum 450 Duo Smart Wi-Fi LED color lights pack. So I'm going to give away 2 LED light bulbs that from your phone you can change to whatever color you want.
Neat.
Spoiler alert, these do not get very bright.
It's
Just a heads
even
up.
it's even in the shape of a home.
Yeah, it's a little home. Now, I need your guys' help. How are we going to give these away?
Seems like you should have thought of this before.
I did not think of this before. Or I could just give it away to somebody here on the podcast. Does anybody want this?
Yeah.
No.
All right, so we're going to give it away to a listener.
It'll probably be through Facebook.
Yeah, well, we got the contest.
We have that Facebook thing
Contest thing.
Yeah, the contest thing that we
Alright.
paid for. I think it's still active.
Yeah.
So we
How
can
much did we
probably-
pay for it?
Like $100.
What?
We've used it twice.
This is the last time you buy magic beans.
I know. I use smart lights in my house a lot.
Yeah, me
because,
too. I love them.
Because and I switched because I didn't have a
Use
hub.
the words.
What's the hub? I didn't have like the big the hub where they all connect to. So I ended up getting smart sockets themselves because I didn't like the smart bulbs because they will burn out. A smart bulb
And
will.
they're expensive, too.
Yeah, they're like $30
They're
for a smart bulb.
LEDs. They'll burn out after like 20 to 30 years.
I have had LEDs that I have bought actually more than a few. I will count them. Four LED bulbs that have burned out.
It's not the
Yep,
it's
I'm
not
with
the
that one.
bulb.
It's not the bulb.
It's the logic board.
Yeah,
that,
it's the controller.
yeah.
It gets too hot or it burns out or whatever.
Yep.
So I went with smart sockets and then I can just cycle through those cheap LED bulbs.
Well, can't the logic board just die on the smart socket too?
They're not as likely. They
Yeah.
don't get as hot. It's not always.
Your mom doesn't get as hot.
Oh, here comes something mean. Here comes something mean.
He's building up to it.
I'm gonna push that back down for later.
These smart So is this like a light socket extension, basically?
Yeah, which makes it kind of hard to fit in some.
Yeah.
I've had to find really small ones to fit under some of the light fixtures that I already have.
Okay.
But it's really cool because you can turn. Like I have a light that's got 3 bulbs, and I can turn on.
Does Philips make those by chance?
No, mine were really crappy
It's
ones that
Oh,
don't.
some guy named
continue.
Carl.
Anyway. But I really like them because I have a whole bunch of 3-way switches, and I was going to go with those Wemo smart switches.
Did you say 3-way?
3-way switch.
I see.
Yeah. Anyway, the Wemo switches don't work well with 3-way switches. Like you can't use the smart light.
Yeah,
for
they
that.
do. We already established that they do.
They don't.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
A listener even wrote in and told us how to
maybe
make
I'm
it
still
work.
maybe I'm using the old model. the one said from us that it didn't work. Anyway, so I switched to smart bulbs, and it's really nice because I can turn them on and off at will.
They are
each
the
light,
ones.
and I can group them together in
Oh,
Alexa.
in the
and
app?
then,
Nice.
In Alexa, she can group smart devices together. So when I
Interesting.
say
Well, so can Google and other.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
them can.
Also
But anyway,
interesting.
It's really nice. I think smart and plugs work really well. Smart plugs work really well if you are running a mining machine. I use one for my mining machine. I use one for lamps that you have that you want to upgrade. And
I will definitely say you will want to stay within the same ecosystem when you start buying smart plugs.
yes,
Because otherwise you end up with like 4 apps
Except
for
for
4 different
Wemo.
smart
Yep.
plugs.
I have Hue and Wemo, and I'm stopping it there.
which one do you like more?
Well, Philips doesn't have smart switches that are kind of affordable, at least. Definitely Philips, yeah,
Do you like Philips over Wemo?
for sure.
I like Wemo over the other ones I've gotten. I can't even remember the other ones' names because they're kind of obscure.
Oh, sick burn.
Can we talk about the Airstream?
Anyway,
Super quick?
No,
super quick?
no.
No,
I got
I think-
something I want to talk about really quick.
Okay, it's Jarron's turn.
Yes.
Airstream next time.
Yep.
Because it's not like they update this
I've only talked
technology.
about one thing here.
It's not like they update this technology very often,
Yeah.
James.
I
It'll
guess,
still be
but our
relevant.
listeners will live 2 weeks in the past from campers that they could have had tomorrow.
It's true.
Solar cells is an area of technology that doesn't receive many upgrades over time, kind of like batteries, actually.
yep.
Hey,
And-
side note. Jarron's only talked about one thing so far, but he only posted 3 things in the notes. So you're getting 2 out of 3 right
Yeah,
now.
how many
I'm
of my
fine with that.
how many of my things have we not talked about? I wanted to
saying.
talk about the 10 gadgets that make your car smarter.
Anyway, solar cells. The efficiency of solar cells, the rate at which sunlight converts into electricity, the
Yes.
efficiency of them is like hovers around 18%.
It's called photosynthesis.
and
All the plants do.
Plants can do it, Jarron.
jeez. Anyway, the efficiency is really hard to increase because they've
To be
kind of
efficient?
topped it
it.
out.
Fertilizer.
Anyway, they discovered this new compound called perovskite. Perovskite.
That's not a real thing. That's a guy
Anyway,
in Russia.
it's a combination of lead and iodine, and they basically just spray it on a traditional solar cell.
So
it
like
is like
Roundup?
fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And it increases efficiency by 20%.
Wow.
It goes from
20%? Wow.
it goes from like 18% to 22.4%.
I need some of that for my solar roof. But if I just get like a spray bottle, I'm like,
Yeah, sure.
Is that
I don't
just
think
like
so.
a-
You just see Owen spraying it on his kids.
Do they
Gotta be 25% more efficient.
Do they
this
talk
lead
about
will this lead will make you
Oh.
smarter.
Jeez.
Open your mouth.
Anyway, they're hoping to increase the efficiency all the way up to 30%, and
So-
that would be huge. That'd make solar panels so much more efficient.
Yeah.
Would
Pretty
you
much,
say-
pretty much replace coal
That would-
easily.
That would replace
Yeah.
coal.
Would
Yeah.
you say that they would make them up to 30% more efficient?
There's some places that are using solar to pull at least 30% of their power currently.
Yeah.
So if they up that to 60%, over half, like
it'd be great, and they say it'll be easy to already
to apply and
to
stuff.
apply to the current manufacturing process.
I wonder what it does. Does it just like magnify it somehow?
It must-
Or,
yeah, it must-
like
it-
create a film that magnifies the
it must
the
make
rays?
some convex like crystals. It must
interesting.
dry convex so that it
some sort of crystallization.
that causes it to
Osmosis.
So Yang Yang, a professor of materials science at UCLA,
He's got the same name twice.
yes, Yang Yang.
That's how you know he's smart.
He says
What's your name? Yang. What's your last name? I already told you. Yang.
The professor says we're drawing energy from 2 distinct parts of the solar spectrum over the same device area. So it seems like they're just pulling it.
Oh, it combines
Yeah.
it
somehow.
like 2 different wavelengths or something?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
makes it so it can pull from a deeper spectrum.
That's pretty cool. You don't hear about solar efficiency getting
Boosted
better.
by 30%.
Well, not only that, you don't usually hear about it getting better other than like changing the material that's inside the
Right.
solar panel, stuff like that.
Or
Like,
the parts getting cheaper, more
Yeah.
affordable.
It's never here we have something that can make existing panels more
Especially
efficient.
not in this administration. Like you don't hear a lot about the green advancements, like energy saving advancements.
Haven't you heard about the solar underground railroad?
No.
They got to sneak it through the system.
I don't think that'll work very well.
That is the thing.
All right. I think that's it.
Let's hope so.
Real quick, just mention Sony remains unchanged on its denial of crossplay with other platforms.
Seriously, and they say what? They say, look, it just plays better on the PS4. That's it.
That's the official corporate line right now.
It just plays. We just want people to have the best experience, and
Yeah.
it just plays best in our system.
It plays better on
That's
PlayStation.
bullcrap.
PlayStation
Garbage.
sounds like a pissed ex significant other. It's like, I don't need you right now. I'm fine. I can do good by myself. Cut to 5 years from now. Please take me back in.
For the longest time, they said it can't be done. They can't cross-platform. It's just not compatible. Our systems are too different. And then they proved
It's
that
totally
it could.
wrong,
That was complete
BS.
baloney. And now they're like, never mind. We're just not doing it.
You know what? It's just it's the best on our platform. So
Yeah.
As long as they're pumping out the awesome games, they can really do whatever they want.
they're first-party games, man.
Well, and on top of that, aren't they killing in Asia? Like murdering any kind of Microsoft sale?
Oh yeah,
Microsoft never did well in Asia.
yeah.
Neither did Star Wars.
Microsoft does well in America, and it does pretty good in Europe. I think PlayStation still outsells Xbox in Europe though by a pretty good margin, but not nearly as huge as the margin is in Japan.
Isn't it like
Japan, I swear it's
2
like
million units versus like 19 or something?
yeah,
like that?
yeah, it's like 10-1. So, all right, I think we're done. That's it. Owen, why don't you finish us off?
Hey, we hope that you care.
Gadget Spot.